I live in a tourist town. Actually, here in Southwest Florida, we kind of get hit by a number of factors. We have our snowbirds, those who return from their northern locales and come down here to Florida for 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 months, depending on how bad the winter is up north at that time. And then we also have our tourists, those who just come down for vacation, fill up our hotel rooms, and take over our Airbnbs. Spending our winter months amongst our snowbirds and our tourists, well, most of the time it's great. There's really no shortage of things to do, restaurants to eat at, and the weather is pretty much perfect. And like anything else, there's obviously some not so great things about it. For instance, during high tourist season, traffic can be a nightmare. Getting a restaurant reservation takes planning weeks in advance, and it's just generally busy everywhere. Like most anything in life, there are positives and negatives. But in this case, I like to think that the positives outweigh the negatives. If you are worried that retirement means crossword puzzles, reading books, and playing bingo, I'm here to tell you that retirement can be so much more. Don't get me wrong, there's definitely a time and a place for those things, but that's not all that retirement has to be. What if you took the plunge and retired to a tourist town? Retiring to a tourist town could turn your retirement into a permanent vacation. And this type of vacation is so much more than just sleeping in on weekdays and spending the afternoons at the pool. This is getting to choose where you live. And that means living where you actually vacation. A tourist town can be so much more than just a place to visit. It can be a place that you call home. Imagine your days filled with fun activities and festivals, delicious food, and beautiful views. Let's dig into why retiring to a tourist town could be a fun and smart choice. Tourist towns have an influx of, well, tourists. And because of that, that area usually caters to the tourists by offering more shopping and dining options, more indoor and outdoor activities, more arts and cultural scenes. In a tourist town, there's really never a shortage of things to do or see. Retirement doesn't have to be boring. Tourist towns often have lively social scenes with events and festivals and cultural activities to keep you engaged and entertained. This vibrant atmosphere is ideal for someone like you looking to enjoy retirement and make new friends. The benefit of life in a tourist town is that you have options. You can choose to be out and about as often as you want, or you can choose to savor some downtime. And while you may not be thinking about renting out your second home, buying in a high-demand area can be a wise investment, because frankly, you never know when your situation may change. The option to rent and have a source of passive income is possible in tourist areas. Just be careful and make sure that you don't purchase in the one community in that area that doesn't allow rentals. As a rule of thumb, even if you aren't thinking about renting up front, it's always good to know if rentals are allowed in the community that you're looking at or in the particular home that you're interested in, just on the off chance that it ever becomes a need for you. And piggybacking on that, when you do purchase in a tourist area, well, those homes tend to hold their value a little bit better, and they can be easier to sell down the road if you need to. Because the area is so popular, that will generally ensure a steady interest from buyers. This can safeguard your investment, because the reality is family may not want your second home being passed down to them. So either you or them are going to have to sell. And doing so in a popular go-to place can be easier. Now, of course, I can't speak for the actual market conditions when you do go to sell, but you can at least take comfort knowing that people generally want to be there, and they tend to gravitate towards that area. Tourist towns are often picturesque. They have beautiful settings. It could be beaches, lakes, city centers, mountains. These are places you can enjoy every day. And it ultimately makes it feel like a vacation for you. And on top of being pretty, these areas are often so focused on attracting tourists and continuing to attract tourists that they often have a robust infrastructure. This can include things like well-maintained roads, beautiful landscaping, reliable public services, and even enhanced security. Things like this make life easier and more comfortable, which everyone appreciates, tourists and residents alike. And because these areas are catering to a variety of tourists, they often have a range of property types and price points. Everything from condos, villas, single-family homes, townhomes. This gives you the flexibility to choose a property that fits your current needs, and maybe even upsize and or downsize when your needs change. If you're trying to decide where to retire, I've built relationships with some of the top agents across the country and even abroad. If you're thinking about exploring tourist areas and possibly buying property, click on the link below. Fill out the short questionnaire. I'll call you, we'll have a short conversation, find out what your exact situation is, and I'll be able to match you with the right agent. This way you can purchase your ideal home away from home and start enjoying it right away. And going back to speaking about diversity, there's not only diversity in property styles and price points in tourist towns, there's also diversity in people in these tourist areas. These areas bring people together from all types of backgrounds. For instance, here in Southwest Florida, which is a huge tourist destination, we get people from all over the world. We do tend to attract a lot of Midwesterners, but we also attract Canadians and Europeans. And we get people here of incredible wealth. You just never know who you're going to be standing in line next to at the grocery store, or sitting next to at the bar, or swimming in the Gulf of Mexico with. It could be a billionaire. Many tourist areas also cater to a more health-conscious crowd. This could mean they have fitness centers, wellness retreats, medical services that specialize in catering to a diverse and sometimes affluent population. No matter what your situation, living in a tourist area, even for part of the year, can be beneficial for you because you get to take advantage of that lifestyle while you're there. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you have to go out and join the fancy gym. In tourist areas, people are generally more active. They are outside enjoying the weather, the landscape, the views. The main word of caution about living in a tourist area is that tourists will generally descend upon a place during a specific period of time. Here in Florida, the bulk of the tourists tend to come during the winter months because they're trying to escape the cold of their northern home. This means crowds and traffic, which frankly are never fun. You just have to prepare yourself for that. It's a popular location for a reason, and you'll be joining the masses who want to enjoy the place while it's at its best, the same as you. And then on the flip side, you have to figure, what about if you visit this place during the time when there's no tourists there? You need to prepare yourself for living in a place where it could be or could feel a little deserted at times. Here in Southwest Florida, it used to be that as soon as Easter hit, the snowbirds and the tourists alike would leave, and this place would get awfully quiet. It would even get to the point where some of the restaurants would close for a little bit of time, and there would be little to no activities, festivals, and entertainment options. Nowadays, that doesn't happen as much because many more people have chosen to make this their permanent home, but 15 to 20 years ago, sure, we would enjoy getting our town back for a little bit of time during the quiet months. Getting around town was much easier and faster. Going out to eat was also easier. And some of our favorite hangouts, like the beach, were a lot less crowded. The bottom line is, no matter when you decide to go utilize your vacation destination, whether it's in season when all the tourists are there, or whether it's during the off season when it's a little more quiet or could feel deserted in some cases, that you're prepared for whatever the situation may be. I'm sure you're excited and probably even a little bit nervous. It's a big decision figuring out where to retire so you can live your best life. But stick with me. We'll be digging through all the things you should be thinking about when buying your home away from home. And to help you in your search for where to retire, check out this video here. It may just help you narrow down your list. Thank you for joining me. I'm Alysia Shivers. Until next time.